There's a lot that goes into determining the value of a comic book. Take, for example, the classics like Action Comics number 1 and Detective Comics number 27, which are both old and hard to find, but they're also the first appearances of Superman and Batman respectively, which has increased the value of those comics exponentially. Now, there are other ways for a comic to get value, like Alpha Flight number 51, which is the first cover done by Jim Lee. So if a comic is done by somebody and it's their first work, it could increase the value. Now, there are other comics that, as long as the character got popular, the comic itself became valuable. Like New Mutants number 98, first appearance of Deadpool. So, in determining whether or not your comic books are valuable or not, it's best to look at how old they are, how popular the characters have become, and who worked on the projects. Popularity, though, is the first thing you should look for. Popularity is your number one rule breaker. There's a lot that goes into determining the value of a comic book. You've got your classics like Action Comics number 1 and Detective Comics number 27, the first appearance of Batman and Superman, which has increased the value of those comics to an unreasonable degree. But you also have the ability to find comics that are valuable because it's the first works of somebody, like this one from Jim Lee. Now, there are other comic books that are newer, bringing in characters like Deadpool, whose first appearances, like New Mutants number 98, are valuable just because a lot of people want them, though the comics themselves aren't very rare. So, if you want to determine if your comic book itself is valuable, look to see if it's the first appearance of a character, who worked on it, and the popularity of the character or series. Popularity is going to be your number one rule breaker.